Hello and welcome to The Well. I'm your host, Dr. Brendan Arm, Doctor of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine, Chinese medicine herbalist, and founder, director of Lotus Integrative Medicine in Santa Monica, California. There's a wealth of health-related information out there, and I'm joined today by this wonderful group of integrative and holistic medical doctors and practitioners to share some of our favorite wellness tips. Please let me introduce you to Dr. Heath McAllister, naturopathic doctor and registered herbalist, Dr. Rob Krochmal, medical doctor and a practicing physician who is board certified in family medicine, nutrition, and integrative and holistic medicine, Bianca Rodriguez, a holistic psychotherapist, and Leona West Fox, a family practitioner trained as an integrative functional nutritionist with certifications in both nutritional medicine and herbal medicine. So let's begin. Today's topic is, how do we take care of our body during COVID-19?
Well, I'll just jump right in and say from the beginning that while we don't know a lot about this virus, one thing that we've known since the beginning and that has held true is that the healthier we are, the better we're going to do through this pandemic. So I find that very inspiring, and it's to be able to focus on your health during this time is a wonderful thing. So there are some friendly things about the virus in that it was different for the 1918 flu that killed the majority of people that it killed were between the ages of 18 and 45. Whereas now, the healthier we are, the better. And I just want to quickly highlight one study that actually came out in early April, so it's actually been a few months now, that showed that one easy thing that we can do is supplement with vitamin D. We still have a 70% plus deficiency rate in this country, and there was a study from South Asia that showed that looked at hospitalizations and vitamin D levels and found actually that there was a 20 times increased risk of critical COVID illness in vitamin D deficiency compared to vitamin D sufficiency. So that's like a 2,000% difference. And for the listener out there that knows anything at all about studies, there are some drugs that are approved that give you a 5% or a 10% decreased risk. This is a 2,000% decreased risk, and this is a very safe and easy thing to do. So I find that inspiring as well.
I would jump on that also and say, yeah, what I had read was that if you have a vitamin D status over 80 nanograms per deciliter, which is, most people don't have that high of a vitamin D status, that your risk of dying of COVID was minimal. Like if you actually contract it, you don't develop the cytokine storm. The mortality is very low for that population. I would also say that even conventional docs these days are recommending zinc, that's even one of the recommended treatments, that if you get COVID-19, you take hydroxychloroquine, a Z-Pak, and zinc. And it's amazing that like conventional people are even talking about zinc, because vitamins are not something in common parlance for the standard medical world. I don't know why that is, because these are the things that fuel the immune system, allow it to function normally. So I would say zinc and vitamin C are things that are known to support immune function, and having a robust immune response at the beginning of any viral infection is important for how the course of your treatment. So I would also say that in addition, some things, I actually did a small little video segment that we sent out to a lot of our patients about just how do you support yourself through the COVID quarantine. And some easy things you can work on are reducing stress. We know that stress plays a major role in the immune system, and that when we're really stressed out, for instance, that's when people get like herpes reactivations and things. Like viruses tend to take hold when we are stressed out and our body is not focused on immune function and focused on, just survival. So that doing some kind of concerted stress management techniques like breathing exercises, or a favorite of mine is guided imagery, where you listen to basically a script that leads you through a guided meditation. Another thing is sleep, that we know that when you don't sleep enough, your immune system is handicapped. So getting, how much sleep should you be getting? Well, people generally aren't sleeping enough. 6 to 8 hours tends to be the sweet spot. If you're sleeping under 6 hours, your risk of mortality, all-cause mortality, which means dying of anything, is increased. So I'd say there's some very easy steps that people can take during this time period to manage their health. You know, sleeping enough, getting some moderate form of exercise, even body weight exercises with gyms being closed. You can still do those like push-ups and sit-ups, but then having adequate vitamin intake, zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D is one that's absolutely critical, and we should all be doing that. I do that for all my kids.
Yeah, I
Yes.
totally agree. You know, I've been looking at all the research as well. And so, of course, D helps in the early stages when the viral activity is high, but it also helps in that cytokine storm, in that kind of second inflammatory wave that is really what people are most concerned about. And I'm with you. I'm really excited because we are talking about susceptibility, and susceptibility with this tends to be in all the metabolic conditions, and the metabolic conditions are 95% plus preventable. They are about diet and stress and sleep. And although I think the dialogue can be a little bit more robust, but this is part of it, is talking about the susceptibility of the virus really causing harm in relationship to these lifestyle and diet components. And so this is where I want to talk more and hear more about how we can take steps that people can be empowered, and speaking with my clients on how to empower ourselves around diet in prevention. That in this particular virus, one of our greatest tools is diet and these lifestyle medicine. And so I think that this kind of creates a whole different way of looking at prevention and wellness and diet, maybe that people never quite even encountered. And so it's opening up a whole new way of looking at the importance of diet and lifestyle.
I just would point out one simple thing also for the body itself, from a Chinese perspective, where, you know, we're looking at this as a holistic, from trying to mirror what's happening in nature. You know, we're hearing a lot about like vitamin D and how important it is just to get outside. So as best you can, you know, trying to find some time in the morning, you know, when the sun is rising, to get outside and get that sunlight on your body. And even at the end of the day, when, you know, the sun is a very different shape or in a different part of the sky, getting the light from the sun on the body. So as best we can, getting outdoors to get some fresh air into our bodies and some fresh sunlight onto our bodies can be very helpful too.
Absolutely.
Well, that's about all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us, and please join us next time for more wellness tips. And remember, regardless of where we are, our resources in the well are limitless. Have a great rest of your day.